direction?
Upside.
Upside. So the next inventory was on 29th of August. Okay, on 29th of August, before the 29th of August, this guy made a movement of almost 50-60 rupees upside, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The same thing happened here. This is the low, this is the high, and the next day it closed above. So it made a higher high, higher low, right? Okay.
Yes.
Then it started making a move, and before the next inventory, do you see almost say 70-80 rupees up?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, before this inventory, you have to exit. Okay. Now, on this inventory, it is 49.72, correct? So it is 49.72 on the upside, and this is 48.28 on the downside. Is it making a higher high, higher low?
It's a lower high, lower low, right?
Right.
Yeah, lower high, lower low.
So this is a lower high, lower low, right? Now, so it should close below this, right? Didn't close, could not close.
Could not close.
Okay. Next day also something something. Next day it broke the high.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it broke the high, but on 12th of September it is a inventory day, right? But most likely it has already told us that there is some problems, huh? Because of
Yeah.
see, it was this entire week it was sideways, right? Now this was made on this day. Was it closing below?
Yes. Closed below.
Okay. So on this particular day it went down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now when it went down over here, now people would be exiting today because tomorrow is the inventory, right? So they cannot be in this. Okay. So okay. So this is the inventory. Now, sorry, this is today. Okay. So this is the trade happening today. All right. So it is above the high of yesterday. Correct. So when was the inventory? Inventory was here, right? It made a high and then it broke down, right? It closed here, right? So from here it should continue down, correct? Most likely it should continue down, right? Which did not happen.
Yeah, correct.
It rather took a support at the low itself. In crude oil, you will find the highs and the lows are very prominent. Very, very prominent in crude oil. Okay. So it was not able to do it. Rather, it wanted to break the high. So you got to know that it is getting volatile. Look at it. It made a higher low. So it is a high volatile candle. High is also taken out. Low is also taken out. Right. So if that is the case, then it has to first trend. Next day, a higher high, lower low. And today, if you look at it, it made a lower low, and from there it picked it up and it started moving up again. Again, it is volatile. Okay, again it is volatile. Now, if I have to look at some of the trends in this, okay, and you will use only at least a 15 minutes chart, okay, don't use a 5 minutes chart or something. In this, minimum should be 15 minutes, okay.
Okay.
Now, let's see, on 6th of September, there was something that has happened, right? Because this was an inventory day, right?
Yeah, correct.
Now, the inventory would have been released at around 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
Okay, so on 6th, it was released on 8:30. So 8:30,
Yes, sir.
this was the candle which was formed for 15 minutes. If you look at it, the moment the inventory was released, it started selling off, right?
Yeah.
All right, and this is where the high is. I'm just trying to mark it, okay? It made a higher high, higher low, closed inside the close. Do you see this area, right? Moved up on 11th. 12th was an inventory again, right? Yes or no? So 12th is an inventory again. On 12th,
Yeah. Yes.
the inventory was released at 8 p.m.
Hmm. Yeah.
The moment it was released, it started going up. Okay. So it formed a lower low, lower high.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it didn't had a choice because the price levels are here. Okay. Did it come here? Took resistance. Tried selling off. The sell off is not small. Huh? It is a 50, more than 50 rupees sell off. Okay. So it sold off, right? Now, if you look at it over here, okay, if you look at this area, is it a higher high, higher low? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So what is the likelihood? It should go up. Okay. And if it goes up, it should be closing. It will have to cross this candle, right? Now, if it crosses this candle and closes above, then most likely it will try to take support from here. Make sense? Okay. Now, these are basically trends which are formed on a inventory day. Okay. Now, which contract is running at the moment? It is September, right? So, in the September when it got active, if we look at it, when the September got active, okay, the first inventory was released on 22nd of August, right? And then on 29th of August. So on 22nd of August, it was somewhere here. Okay. Now, on 22nd of August, there was a holiday, right? This day was a holiday. Okay. So that is why you see that the thing has started only from 5 p.m. Now let's look at this. The inventory was released at 8 p.m. Correct? When the inventory was released at 8 p.m., immediately people started buying, right? The impact was people started buying, right? Sorry. Okay. After that, the next inventory was on 29th, right? 29th. So it was on this day. Okay. When this happened, the previous lines are here, and when 29th is here, okay. When this happened, the moment the inventory was released, if you see, it was a kind of a doji, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say it is blue. If you look at this impact from inventory to inventory, what is the impact?
Moving up.
So it is trying to move up. So inventory to inventory, the trend is up,
Hmm.
right? So this and this becomes the support lines, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see that when the price was wanting to come down, it was having problems. Somewhere around this area. Okay. Because it is a support line. Now, if it has to sell off, it can sell off till the support line, right? If it breaks this, it will break this, correct? If it breaks
Hmm.
this, then it might break wherever it is in the past. Okay. So what happens is crude in case of crude, okay, because the this what you say, the liquidity is so high, okay, you will be able to spot these trends, okay. Wherever the liquidity is very poor, you will start seeing gaps, okay. Wherever you will find the liquidity is poor, you will start seeing gaps. It will close here, next day it is opening here, next day it is closing here, next day it is opening here, okay, which means there is a liquidity problem. Okay, so you'll have to be with a stock, basically, sorry, with a commodity which has, which is not demonstrating this problem. Now, look at this area. This is 14th and this is 16th, right? So there was a holiday in between, right? 15th of August. The market didn't open, right? So this is fine because we are missing out on a trading day. Makes sense, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It makes sense because we are missing out on there is a trading day which is absent. So this gap is justified. Okay. But let's see. Hmm. This is also 7 to 10th, so it's okay. 7, 8, 9, 10th. So it's opening after a weekend. Okay. But on a continuous trading day, okay, now let's see over here. This is 12th and this is 13th, right? And This is still justified. Why? Because half day holiday. For half a day, it didn't trade. So it's fine. It's opened here, which is okay. Fine. Agreed. Okay. But on a continuous day, say on this day, 14th, say 17th and 18th, say these are side by side days, right? If you see that the price has closed here and next day the price is opening at 5400, okay, or the price is closing here at around 5000 and next day it is opening at 4400 at the bottom, then it is telling you that this commodity doesn't have liquidity. Okay, it is just trading, it doesn't have liquidity. Okay, so you'll have to stick with a commodity which has liquidity in it, okay, which is not giving you, showing you wild gaps. Because if there are wild gaps, it means it is, if it is opening above, it might fall. If it is opening below, it might just simply rise because of the liquidity problem. Okay. Now, since it is a internationally linked commodity, okay, there would be, you know, choppiness, etc., whatever you call it, right? But more or less, the stock should be working, the commodity should be working in a way that you are able to find the basics of trading, which is like at least a higher high, higher low formations, okay, or a breakout kind of a situation, or those kind of basic things, okay. So they should be present. If they are not present, then there is a problem, okay. Now, let's look at this data. In this data, this is basically a report, right? So over here, it is telling you that how much volume was traded on a specific day. Correct? Now, if I look at this, I'm just hiding these two because not required. Hide. Okay, so this is also not required. So if we look at say this day, 10th of September, okay, what was the total volume that was traded? It was some 1,25,840, right? So these many lots were traded. How many were left open?
11705.
Which means how much was speculative trading volume? 1,14,135 contracts were just traded in intraday.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, because only 11,000 contracts were left open. Okay, now what are the fundamentals of OI? The fundamentals of OI are very simple. Okay, if you see that the open interest, okay, I'm not getting into a detail that when is the volume counted and when is the open interest counted. Let's stick to very basics, that if the open interest increase and the price also increase, if the price increases and the open interest increases, then there are long formations. This is a traditional way of finding, like it is something like a formation of a higher high, higher low for bullish and lower low, lower highs for bearish. Okay, so this is nothing but just the fundamental, the basics. However,
क्वेश्चन था यहाँ पे
हाँ जी, okay.
ये जैसे मान लीजिए आप हमको कंसीडर करना है कि ओपन इंटरेस्ट अप है और प्राइस अप है, तो प्राइस सर क्या मतलब प्रीवियस क्लोज जो लास्ट का ट्रेडेड प्राइस है उसी को कंसीडर
नहीं,
करें?
वो मैं
तो
बता
वो
रहा
जैसे
हूँ,
आप
अभी बताता हूँ। अब देखो, आपको सबसे पहला जो ध्यान रखना है, द थिंग दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर, the contract has to get active, because on these 2 days if you look at it, the open interest is quite low, right? That is because the July contract was still active. Okay, so bear this also in mind. All right. So from 22nd August onwards, I see that the contract is fully, liquid.